What up, guys? So I'm gonna be doing a real quick Power Rangers movie review. The new Power Rangers, the 2017 version. It just came out. I literally just left the movie theater. So I'm just gonna be rambling things that are coming to my head about it. Um, Overall, I like the movie. I didn't love the movie. And while leaving, I thought maybe that had a lot to do with my age, and just a lot of movies that preceded it kind of made just Power Rangers not be so special anymore. Um, at least seeing the big spectacle of the movie that they made. Um, but all right, let's start with it's directed by Dean. I hope I say this right. Israelite. I think he also did the movie Almanac, and he did another movie, but I can't think of that right now. And they got some good actors. Bryan Cranston was in the movie as Zordon. That he did a really good job. Cause he showed moods that we never seen from Zordon on the show or on the previous movies. Um, Bill Hader was really funny. Alpha Five. I thought his voice lent itself really well for the comedic relief and stuff. Uh, but our main Rangers, uh, Dake Dacre Montgomery, who played Jason. My friends called him the fake. What's homeboy's name from Zac Efron? He looks like a weird like he could be Zac Efron's cousin. Naomi Scott played Kimberly. R.G. Seiler, who is also in Vice Principals and Earl and the Dying Girl, and like he's by far the best part of the movie, and I also think the best part. I mean, I think he's done he has the best body of work. I mean, from the main Rangers, and also pretty much like steals the movie. I think Ludi Lin and Becky G, um, and Rita Repulsa, played by Elizabeth Banks, also did a good job. I mean, if we just start to strip down and just think about the show and like kind of like the way the show was and how these kids basically had to save the town and the world every day from these huge monsters, um, and they use power coins and stuff. Like if you like boil it down, the like all the essentials are there in the movie. And it didn't try to be more than it was. The problem, I think, when it comes down to it, the reason the movie just wasn't like the biggest, like Kong just came out. The Transformers movies have been just doing like big action set pieces, big monsters, kaiju stuff. So I think that's like kind of steals the lackluster of like it just pulls you away, and also like I think when it comes down to you just when you would watch the Power Ranger movie, the one with Ivan Ooze, you already love these characters. You came from watching the TV show, and it was something you watch at home every day after school and on Saturday mornings. So there was like a special connection, you know, and everyone chose who they were, like color wise. You know, my brother was always the green one or the red one or the white one. You know what I mean? Everyone always chose. I mean, that's later seasons, but like originals, you know, everyone wanted to be Jason until Tommy showed up, and then everyone wanted to be Tommy. If you were, so in that, like when you would watch the first original movie, um, you already had a connection with this movie. You had a connection with no one except all the past ones. So like it was hard to connect with anybody, and I don't know. I like the whole Breakfast Club thing that they had going on in the beginning, and then it got like a little like YouTubey and a little I don't know, like it was shot weird and edited weird in the beginning, and then it kind of just started finding its pace. And then you kind of just start seeing for what like these big movies were, where it's like this big commercial for Krispy Kremes. I think they said the word Krispy Kreme at least 20 times throughout the movie. So you were just kind of like, what the fuck? Um, but I mean, that's what kids movies are. Um, I would watch it and I'm like, man, like I want to love this movie. It's got a good mixture of humor and action and stuff. Um, I kind of wanted the more cornier fighting style, but I mean, obviously you can't do that. But then I'm like, if you're not gonna go in the corny action style, I mean, there wasn't a lot of hand to hand combat. There was more hand to hand training than there was combat. I feel like they started fighting and like, oh, as soon as it started being cool. And spoilers, by the way, they bring out the Megazords or the the machines. So yeah, there was not a lot of hand to hand combat. I feel like that's gonna change, especially since I think they have like 6 of them planned out. Um, and like if you're kind of already like familiar with the Power Ranger story, or at least if they're gonna stick to how the show went, you kind of feel like you already kind of know where they're gonna go with it. And spoilers, by the way, because at the end of the movie, they do have like a mid trailer scene where they're in detention, which is funny because they hadn't been to detention since probably the first day, and now they're back, and they're calling out for Tommy, so you know that the Green Ranger Tommy's coming, and that was my favorite, and probably why, like the whole time I'm like, oh man, I just mentioned Tommy, let's see Tommy, or some sort of like, I don't know, because that was my favorite growing up. So, I think the sequel, everyone, like, think it would have already established them, so I feel like it will be a lot better. But overall, like, there was a lot of kids in the theater, and I was enjoying it, but like, I kind of enjoyed seeing them like they were jumping and screaming and having a great time, and it just took me back to my childhood with like me and my brother just basically fucked up our VHS tape of how many times we used to watch the movie with Ivan Ooze and the Rangers. So overall, it was a good movie. It wasn't great. I mean, it's getting good reviews, more than like you would expect. Kind of a lot like the first Ninja Turtles. Like, it got good reviews, people liked it, and then they like completely went all out for the second one, and then people kind of just didn't dig that one. But yeah, you should totally watch it. I feel like they have all this song, like they have a bunch of like music that you probably heard on the radio, so it feels like you're listening to a Kiss FM like station while watching the movie. Except they're all covers, except for Kanye West's Power. I think that's the only one they actually like shelved out the money to pay for, and it's also part of like the trailers and stuff. But another thing that bothered me, now that I'm thinking about it, and I guess and again I'm rambling because I just watched it and it's like coming straight fresh. That they would battle, but their like masks would be open. I remember the show and stuff. Their helmets are on, like you're fighting, why would you have all this armor, but you're gonna leave your face open to get punched or hurt. I don't know, that kind of was like, I get it, you have all these actors and you want to use their faces to sell tickets. Again, who did I talk about? Elizabeth Banks, I think, was cool. I mean what more can she do with Rita Repulsa? Like, she did her best. I mean, she was like a corny, weird character in the show anyways. It's not like, there's not much range she could take it to. She played a kind of like little crazy, a little scary, a little like witch vibe to it. But yeah, it was cool. She was cool. But yeah, no, RJ Cyler steals the movie. Really funny. And if you kind of wanted to see what another version of this movie was going to be, and you see the influences, I think the Max Landis script's still out there. I read it online, and I saw kind of like little pieces they kept from it. I think he does get a story credit. And his version was really cool, and they kept a lot of versions of his of pieces of his script you could see, kind of sprinkled in the movie. So yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but I remember reading his script and thinking like, man, I wish they would have shot this. It was for a first draft, it was really solid. Okay, guys. Man, I watched Beauty and the Beast last week and I didn't do a review. I'm thinking whether I should do one or not. But either way, go watch Power Rangers. If not, it's just the beginning of the big blockbuster summer movies coming. I think we have Ghost in the Shell coming. Guardians is coming like in less than probably like a month. So yeah, guys, Power Rangers, good movie, not a great movie. So that's all I'll say about that. So have a good one.